what issues were you having trouble with before we started working together that made you want to optimize your ads and get your ads profitable and have someone like myself come in and apply their expertise to your ads and funnel?
Yeah, so I guess before I met Nick, I was going back and forth with things I've seen online. I mean, our ads were profitable. We were running DM ads and doing maybe the 4 to 5x, but with a model of operations which I didn't believe was scalable. And so I actually seen Nick through like emails and different DM strategies that he's implemented like a year ago in the past. So it's been like a year, kind of like a slow grind for me and him in terms of like I felt like I knew him from a year back. And when his ad popped up on my feed, I was like, shit, like I remember this guy. And like he's doing stuff that's like working. And so when ads work for myself, it's like, oh shit. And this that they're a marketer, I know there's something that works and something that he knows that I didn't. And so, I we signed the agreement and even the way he was taking on those sales calls and the framework in which he approached the situation and where he took a framework of being a doctor, kind of diagnosing and trying to really understand the first call, second call, doing a follow-up, setting up the follow-up call on the first call, all the little things, just his process really convinced me to work with him. And once I did, I was thankful I did because there's so many things I learned all the way from just keeping the funnel as simple as possible to little tricks and nuances within the Facebook ad platform. So I guess like just from the last 2 to 2.5, 3 months, worked with Nick. We probably like good doubled, maybe even tripled from the beginning in terms of revenue. I mean, our team in terms of the sales consultation he gave, which is the secondary thing that he offers, kind of not really, has helped us like just have a better framework and approach to how we actually uh, engage our leads and prospects. And it was a great time, great learning experience. And yeah.
What are regarding some of because you didn't have any like you had some things in place, but like even little things like UTM parameter tracking in your case, like in your CRM, go high level, where you can like see exactly where your sales came from, in terms of like they came from XYZ campaigns, so we can track those sales back to those campaigns. Did you find that to be that kind of stuff to be helpful to better understand, you know, cost per lead, cost per call from a specific campaign, or being able to attribute those sales back to a specific campaign? Like, was that stuff helpful for you, like clarity wise?
No, for sure. And it was funny because like I literally just talked to Hyros and Calmly right before I started working with you. And I was like this, it makes sense, but I just really wanted to get like, something systemized and something going at that point. And so the UTM parameters was like a manual way to do it, which was really cool learning about that. And also like the conversion events as well. I mean, like it was just at the time where I was like looking into it, where Nick just came in with like all his understanding of it, and so yeah, I mean it helped us track ROIs better. Obviously, still might need an attribution software very very soon, but
Yeah, for sure,
um,
for sure. At
yeah,
scale, at lower levels of scale, I always recommend getting like keeping things very simple and like doing some manual stuff just so you don't like bloat your overhead. And then like once you're at a certain point where you're running a more complex amount of campaigns and stuff like that, then you start to do that. So it's more seamless. And so, but yeah, totally. In regards to because you mentioned this briefly, this sales process and sales team consulting stuff, like as a marketer, I've seen this be the biggest downfall for like marketers and like marketing agencies is having more involvement than just like running ads and then like hoping for the best on the sales team side. Like, what was your experience with me talking to you and also like MK, for example, a few times, and even Nate, on the sales team side, like me, getting involved in the sense of like, hey, this part of the sales process needs to be tightened up. You need to track XYZ. You need to track the different closers metrics separately. Like, what was your experience with that side of the things that wasn't necessarily directly involved with the ads?
yeah. So Nick has been involved with different entities that's done more units per month than we have. And so for us to have a figure that we can go and compare and contrast notes or get a broader understanding of what's possible or how we should go about things was obviously um an added benefit to signing up for his, I guess, quote unquote, like marketing offer. Um the biggest thing that I think we took away from the sales portion, although brief, was the fact that like I really like the claiming system. I also really like people not being assigned leads. That was really, really helpful. I think that keeps our sales team, like as Nick says, elite, because they're just, actually going about the things that they have to go about without it being handed to them. And so just from that base like input of like how the client comes in and how the rep is supposed to make contact and build rapport, it's like it's night and day.
Mm.
And I guess, yeah, I mean the most helpful thing was like since you've had experience and you've seen and slightly managed and tweaked and implemented systems within bigger sales teams, it was just, easy to just listen to because we didn't have something like that previously.
Right. And for anyone that is, I don't know, doing, I don't know, between 40 to 50K a month and like 100, maybe 120, maybe 150K a month cash collected range. And they know they need help with like the marketing and some of their like process when it comes to like actually acquiring customers profitably. If they're like skeptical, because a lot of people are skeptical with marketing agencies and marketers nowadays, because a lot of people have invested and got burned and all that stuff. What would you say to someone that is in that place where they know they need help with something, but they're very skeptical and they don't want to pay 5, 10 grand a month to a marketer, for example, or a marketing team because they're scared of getting quote unquote burned and things not being profitable?
Hmm. So I'm trying to understand like the mindset of someone who's doing the 40 to 50. It really depends on the offer, but if you are like stuck at this, like I would say like 20 to 30 to 40,000 a month, and maybe what the next steps are, but you're just having trouble actually taking them or scaling up your ads or like understanding what levers not need to be pulled. More than a marketing agency, I think Nick offers a solution and perspective that allows you to see beyond kind of your understanding of your business. And so, simply put, working with someone that knows more and seen more, it's like cheat code. It's like a cheat code. It's like using check for your homework or looking at the solutions in the back of your textbook. And Nick has seen some pretty nice offers doing lots in revenue. So he's going to be able to provide the perspective that you need to actually scale to the 100,000 a month mark, which is something that we've accomplished very early on while working with Nick.